We can stand in the shade for a while I'm gonna give you a story. Let me walk you through a quick tour on this map first, on this huge complex. 72 hectares. Okay, there you go. 72 hectares, that is equivalent to about 158 acres. 9,317 rooms were established in this huge complex, the size of 100 football fields. And so it is like that if someone wants to sleep through the different room in the Forbidden City on every night basis, it's gonna take 25 years.
Oh my God.
But today our major traveling route will be going along the central axis from the outer court to the inner court. And the outer court refers to those three major palaces where the emperor celebrated their birthdays, winter solstice, the Chinese New Year. And they didn't come to this area very often. They spent most of the times in this area, which is called the inner court, where they were hanging out with their families, the ladies. The emperor normally had one empress, dozens of consorts or the concubines, and hundreds the pretty girls. They all live in that area. That's why they spend most of their times in this area. And the thing is, most of those important buildings built along the central axis still remain closed to the public. We cannot walk into the palace. What we can do is standing far away from the palace to give a peek, to give a glimpse how those furniture look like inside. Very far, we cannot give them a very good look. That's why our tour will start from a furniture hall in this area, right standing behind this building, where we are going to see 300 beautiful furniture originated from those palaces and from the different palaces in this area. Okay, give them a very close look, detailed look, and then we'll be walking out of that gate, where it has the best angle, taking pictures in this area. And then we'll be going along the central axis to see the most important one and the most important ones in the outer court. And then here we're going to take a coffee break.
Okay.
To get an iced coffee, get ourselves refreshed. And then we will continue our tour to the inner court. And if time permits, we're going to visit a palace in this area where those ladies lived. So the emperors lived in this area, the ladies lived either on the west or on the east. And especially there's a very powerful lady. Her nickname was the Dragon Lady. Empress Dowager Cixi. She was the most powerful lady at the end of the Qing dynasty, ruling the country for 48 years. So we're gonna see her living residence over there, and then the garden, the imperial garden. And if time's still okay, if you still have more energy, we can also see a little bit palace in the east. So those 6 palaces built on the west, and 6 of them established on the east were the living quarters for those empress ladies. Empress mother lived either here or here. Empress children, they lived in this area, outside the major court of the empress ladies. Okay?
Could you point out where we're standing?
Right here. Yeah, let's see, right here. Yeah, we'll be coming out of this gate. It's called Gate of Glorious Harmony. And then we'll take this passage right here to the restroom or to the furniture hall over here. And we'll be going along this central axis to say most important. And then the tour will be finished at this area, Archery Pavilion. This is served at the Royal Fitness Club, where the emperor practiced the arrow shooting, weightlifting back in the day. And then we'll take this passage to the end, make a left to the gate over here. We started from here. You remember?
Yes.
The East Palace Gate, yeah. So this is our terminal of this tour. So let's flip it over to get a look at those emperors who lived in the Forbidden City for 500 years. Those emperors, 26 of them in the Ming and Qing dynasties. There are many dynasties in the feudalistic period in China. And the first one could be traced back to 2,200 years ago. Qing dynasty spells like Qin, and followed by the Han, Jin, Sui, Tang, Song, Yuan, Ming, Qing. So yeah, like our gentleman's family named Song. Those two are the Ming and Qing dynasties. So pretty much all those emperors lived in the Forbidden City for 500 years. Those two emperors, the founder of the Ming dynasty, they lived in Nanjing, southern capital city of the dynasty, where it's about 1,000 kilometers away from here, 2 hours flight. They used to live there. And the third emperor who usurped the power from his nephew and became the third emperor in the Ming dynasty, who moved the capital from south to the north, and he established the Forbidden City in 1420. The construction of the Forbidden City involved in 1.2 million people and took 14 years to complete the whole complex, the whole construction. Started from him, all his emperors after him, his son, grandson, great-grandson, they all lived in the Forbidden City for 200 plus years until the last emperor, Chongzhen, in the Ming dynasty. This guy had a very bad luck when the country was plagued by war, civil war, by corruption. There are a lot of issues. And he ruled the country for 17 years. And then because of those attacks by those civil war, a peasant uprising army, that forced him to commit suicide. In 1644, he hung himself. And on a hill, the hill is located right behind the Forbidden City. We'll be seeing that hill inside the Forbidden City where he committed suicide.
How old was he?
34. And then those enemy, they took over the Forbidden City and stayed here for 42 days. Later on, those Manchurian people coming from the northeastern part of the country, their population was very small, but they were very, very powerful, very good at fighting. And they come to Beijing. They took advantage of the civil war broke out in the country. They come to Beijing and defeated this so-called the peasant uprising army who occupied the Forbidden City. Currently, they dropped them out of the Forbidden City. Later on, they occupied the whole country and started a new dynasty, which is called Qing dynasty. The Qing dynasty lasted for 267 years, for 10 generations, until the last emperor, Puyi. You ever heard that movie? The Last Emperor was actually filmed here inside the Forbidden City. I'm going to give you a short video clip later on when we get to see the most important palace here. So here with the last one. There's only one photo out of 26 portrait because he's the most recent one. And declared to be the emperor at the age of 3 years old. But he abdicated. He retired at the age of 6. This is number 6, okay? That's like a finger sign indicating the number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So retired at the 6 years old, and he was kicked out of the Forbidden City at the age of 18 in 1924. And then the next year, in 1925, the whole complex opened to the public as a palace museum. This is one of the largest museums in the world, and houses 1.86 million artifacts in this palace. And that's why the Forbidden City has two names. The Forbidden City, that refers to the huge residence where the emperors resided for 500 years. Also the Palace Museum, because that is the palace, that's a huge museum and open to the public for 100 years till now. So that's why it has two names. Okay, any questions? So far, so good? Okay, or do you want to use the restroom here? A 4-star restroom? This way. Yeah. They're all the original furniture coming from the Qing dynasty a couple of 100 years ago. So that lantern, what kind of material does it look like?
Oh.
Glass? Yeah.
Paper mache.
Yeah. That one is made of the goat horn. Goat horn. Yeah. The goat horn. Because the paper-made lantern were not so popular back in the day in the Forbidden City, as the most important buildings were built by the wood material. So that's why they use the gold horn lantern to substitute those paper-made lanterns to protect the buildings from catching fire. So basically, they would boil the gold horn into the hot water and then make it very soft. Put this American football-like tube into the horn to stretch it larger and bigger, make it transparent to that side, and place a candle inside. So that's the way to illuminate the palace back in the day. 对。 This is a beautiful dowry, or the wedding gift, come along with the empress when she married Emperor Qianlong in 1727. So in our tradition, when a boy marry a girl, boy is supposed to buy a house, and the girl should fill in the house with the furniture come along with her on the wedding day. So this one come along with the empress when she married the Emperor Qianlong in 1727. And so this is armor. Is that right? The armor? Yeah, it's decorated with 300 beautiful, precious objects. And they are the pearls, the jade, the turquoise, and also some other precious object, and divided into 3 categories. The top part features a lot of human figures originated from those famous historical events, and the middle part, which shows a lot of foreigners. The foreigners are giving out their present to the Chinese emperors, like the elephant, like the lion. They brought over all the way from their country and donated those animals to the Chinese emperors, while the bottom part, which features a lot of children. So that is like a metaphor for the emperor and empress' future family that would enjoy a lot of babies. Okay, so that one is made of the huanghuali wood. That is type of the rosewood. Very famous wood for making the furniture back in the Ming and Qing dynasties. 300 beautiful furniture are displayed in this area. Over here, this is a very popular, very famous painting. The original one is still kept in the Forbidden City. The name of the painting is called 1 or 2. The name of the painting, 1 or 2, refers to these 2 images. The emperor is sitting on his own couch, and his image is hanging on the wall. And in that poem written by this emperor, who said that, is this me, or that is me, or they are both of me, or none of them is me? So it contains a kind of philosophical ideology, really refers to the Chinese ancient philosophies. Because of ourselves, we have different sides of ourselves on each day basis. I'm different from the day from yesterday. That makes sense? And the emperor wrote this poem. He said that, is it 1 or 2, neither too close nor too far apart? So is it me or that is me? We're not very close. We're neither too far apart either, because we all belong to the same person. Be Mohist or be Confucianism. Why worry? Why ponder? We can believe in the Mohism. We can also believe in the Confucianism. We can even believe in Christian. So there's nothing to worry about. What we gotta do is to approach them with an open and inclusive mindset. Make the best part of each different belief and kick out the worst part of it. So we don't need to over-worry and overthinking about when it comes to the different beliefs. That's what he means. His ideology is in this poem. And he's writing something on that book, and there's a man who's standing next to him to clean and protect those beautiful artifacts collected by the emperor. That is a eunuch. You're aware of the word eunuch? Yes. Yes. So in the Qing dynasty, there were like 3,000 to 5,000 eunuchs worked for the emperor. Back in the Ming dynasty, 500 years ago, there were like 50,000 to 70,000. Those poor boys worked for the emperor in the inner court. Do you know why they hired so many eunuchs to work for the emperor?
Because they wouldn't touch their women.
That's right. Because there had so many ladies that lived in the inner court inside the Forbidden City, say from 100 to 10,000. They need a lot of those people. They can, they are capable of doing those hard laboring work. And on the other hand, they would not mess around with their ladies. So that's why they use a lot of eunuch. Okay, here, this is a table. The turning table, or the lazy Susan. Is that right? So, yeah, there are 12 drawers. You go around the tabletop, you can pull them out. You can also rotate this table. That's why it's called lazy Susan. And there's an axis in the middle. There's a bonsai. There's a brazier for holding up the charcoal to warm up the room back in the day. because it is extremely cold during the wintertime. Yeah, that's right. In 2015, when they decided to open this furniture hall to the public, and those people that work for the Forbidden City made a copy of the painting in real life over here. This is a real life copy from the painting. Yeah. All the major artifacts over here coming from the picture, especially that table. This is Lazy Susan, exactly the same table from the picture. And there's a beautiful blue and white porcelain jar over there, coming from the Ming dynasty. So like I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of the furniture displayed in this area. There are around 30 pieces over there. The rest of 270 pieces are displayed in this area. So that's the emperor's throne. And this is the folding chair, the emperor's camping chair. They could be folded into one piece. Very convenient to carry and handy to use. Okay, this is the wedding chair, the camping chair, folding chair. Oh, the original one. Even now, there are like 6,700 pieces of those beautiful furniture still kept in the Forbidden City from the Ming and Qing dynasties. Those two tiny chairs, very cute, used for the ladies, by the ladies to see. Are they comfortable?
Probably not.
No, not at all. The first priority they concern the most is the upright position, sitting in a good posture rather than being comfy back in the day. Okay. But anyway, they will put a cushion, like a pillow, and on the chairs to make them feel comfortable.